Okay, so we're trying to find the values of x and y on this special right triangle, the 45, 45, 90. And because it's a special right triangle 45, 45, 45, 90, we know that we're dealing with an isosceles. And if we're dealing with an isosceles and one leg is 8, then the other leg is also 8. So any answer that doesn't have y equals 8 is going to be wrong. So already you can see, boom, it's going to be C. But let's just verify that by saying, okay, if you took the leg of 8 and you multiplied it by root 2, because that's what you're supposed to do. If the leg is x, then the hypotenuse is x root 2. So you do 8 times the square root of 2. And you can actually type that in on your calculator. You can do 8 and then hit the second button and the squared button, and it'll give you a root. And you put a 2 in there, hit equals. And it works out to be roughly 11.3, which verifies this. Okay. Another way to know this is if, because square root of 2 is going to come up a lot in your math career, and that's 8 times approximately 1.414. That's what the square root of 2 is. 1.414, when you square it, equals 1.999396, pretty close to 2, right? So then you're really doing 8 times roughly 1.414. And that also works out to be 11.3. Yeah, that's it. And let's go. So here, find the value of the variable, and we're just looking for x. So I'm going to insert in here the special triangle that we've got because, and let me just do a screen grab of this. I don't know how much of this you're seeing about what I'm doing right now, but let's insert this in here, and let's shrink it down, put it right there, okay? Notice that the hypotenuse is, if we know x is the leg, then the hypotenuse is x root 2. So we're going to take that length of that leg, the length of the hypotenuse, 5, and set that equal to x root 2. And then what do we have to do? We have to divide both sides by square root of 2 in order to solve this. And we'll get then x is equal to 5 divided by the square root of 2. Now you know you need to rationalize the denominator. So 5 over root 2 needs to be multiplied top and bottom by root 2. And on the top you get 5 root 2, and on the bottom you get 2. Where do we see that? We see that in answer A. Okay, and this also follows a little trick that I was talking to you about, which is if you know the hypotenuse is a whole number, 5, you can take that, divide it by 2, and put a root 2 in front of it, because, of course, that will be then the leg, that x value, and if we were to multiply that by root 2 to find the hypotenuse, 5 over 2 would then be multiplied by root 2 times root 2, which is 2, and then those would cancel out to give you 5. So you would get back to that 5 you had if you started at 5 root 2 over 2. So anyway, it's A. We're done.